So, all right. Does anybody else say righty tighty, lefty loosey every time they try to turn something? Yeah, no, just me. Okay, that's fine. So, all right, we're trying to get this just so. Not liking it. So bear with me while I fix this. Okay, that I think that's a little better. So, if you haven't noticed, I'm going to be switching up how I do videos a bit here. I'm trying to improve them, which means tackling various things about the videos and just making them better. And not in a berating myself for starting where I am, just, hey, we could do better. And how? Let's figure out how. So that's a thing, which means my camera's going to be looking at different things in different positions and all that other stuff. But other than that, there we go. I'm going to have to like tape the floor where this is and see if I can try this for a little while. So as you can see behind me, a whole bunch of stuff. Projects, tools for projects, buttons, finished project, iron, new outlight, spider. It's actually my my fiber goddess altar / arts and crafts inspiration, all that stuff. Good stuff. So, all right, it's Wednesday, which means it's time for a little work in progress Wednesday, and there you go. For those of you who don't know who I am Aradia Noire. I'm the resident witch and creatrix over at Radia's Hand and Danae's Divine, where I create myth, magic, and meaning for your everyday life through art, intuition, and energy work. So, here's the stick. Work in Progress Wednesday, or WIP Wednesday, is a holdover from the fiber community, for those of you who are not aware. And it's just a time to show what you're working on, what's going on with your projects, progress you made, etc., and so on. And part of that is because it's really easy to kind of not see progress when you're working on something for hours and hours and hours at a time. And so if you share after a couple of days or after about a week or so, you're more likely to see a lot more progress if you worked on it consistently than maybe if you went day to day and shared it, right? And maybe got a row or two in or something like that. So I like seeing works in progress. I like to see things take shape and form and everything like that. And so naturally, I love Work in Progress Wednesday. And I thought I would bring that to this space. It's also What's Up Wednesday on my blog whenever I put a post up for Wednesday. But without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is check in. On Monday, I said that I wanted to update my planner, stay on task, and get my 6 things done. So I have not worked on my planner at all. I did all this week is set up, but I haven't caught up any because I haven't even tried. So I keep getting distracted and reprioritizing things of, well, do I need to do this or do I need to do this? Well, this has a deadline and this has an endpoint and this, is either doesn't have a deadline or is less important or whatever. And so it's a lot of switching things around as the priorities shift and, as the workload changes, which I don't love, but it's just like how it is. So, staying on task, I don't think I've done a good job, but maybe so. Mostly because I'm still working beyond the hours that I mean to work. I'm still not working during hours I mean to work. Mostly because my allergies are killing me. I don't remember my allergies ever being this bad, but they have gotten worse. And so right now my eyes are killing me. They itch and they burn. And it is all I can do not to just claw them out of my face. I like to see things though, so not the wisest course of action. That means I just get to grin and bear it. Which also, and if I do try to medicate myself, then that usually means I'm super tired. And I have a good degree of cognitive slowing, which is super not great. It's like trying to think through like quicksand. It just, no. So that's kind of a stress and a strain. But I will say I've stayed on task with my 6 things. Now, here's the thing with the whole 6 things is the 6 things is just the bottom line. I want to get these 6 things done every day without fail. Patreon posting is one of them, as is putting up the card of the day, doing a letter writing practice that I have for my spiritual practice, as well as doing daily devotion, project time, and posting an offer of the day. So, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. You know, sometimes I get to stuff really late in the day, later than I want to. And then sometimes it just doesn't happen. Gosh, I feel so tired. I probably look so tired. Also, I'm not like getting a lot of sleep. It's getting worse, maybe, which is probably restless and stress and irritation because there's a lot of stuff going on. And, you know, there's that whole pandemic thing, right? Just affecting the whole world. So that's like low-key stressful to think about. So I try not to. So there you have it. We're going to say 33% on top. You know, getting 33% of the stuff done I wanted to do, you know, on a daily basis. You know, it could be better. But it's not worse. I'm at least doing something. That's good. So as far as projects go, I always have a ton of projects. I have like an absolute plethora at all times. My my project cart is supposed to only have 5 active projects in it. Whether it remains to be 5 is another story entirely. Because I'm like, oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do this. And then somehow I've added like 6 more projects to the cart. Oops. So every now and then, I give up my need for variety and I'll just focus on like one thing. And this week's one thing is my Mentale, or as I've been calling it, a matter of friendship. So I just finished the ribbing, which means the next point that I will be working on is the garter, like the first garter ridge. And then what's left after that is going to be the lace portion and another garter ridge. And as far as this goes, I've had this in my queue for a while. I wanted to make it. I wasn't really sure who I wanted to give it to. And then, you know, the idea came together and I'm like, this is perfect. This is what I want to do with it. And so then off of the queue, it came into the active projects. I try to work on things when I feel it, when I'm up to it, when I'm, you know, down for whatever. But not push when I'm not, or redirect my energy into something I am, you know, into doing. So that's super cool. And since you're a good little poppet, I'll show you. I keep looking at the wrong side of the phone. So that's why I look like I'm looking at the wrong side. As I am. So let's see if I can get this out here carefully. So here you go. It's called Crushed Grapes. That's the name of the colorway. And I feel like I thought this ribbing was going to be a lot longer. I don't know why, but I did. And so I was expecting this part to really take forever. This is about 10 hours worth of work. Now, before you gasp in surprise, let's just show you how big this is. Yeah. That's like some 10,000 stitches too. So yeah. Anyway, I'm super excited because what happens next is the lace portion. And I mean, after I do my garter ribbon, I'm going to take a picture of that. I'm kind of playing a bit of yarn chicken because this is what's left of the first skein. I have like enough to do it. I'm not worried about that. I just didn't realize I was so close to the end of the skein. So the other thing I've been working on is my repricing of my store. So at first I was doing everything from start to finish. So update for every single item, update the project sheet, update the pricing sheet, create a pay yourself page, make a spreadsheet, then update all the numbers in my inventory sheet, and then update it on the websites. And so I would go through all those steps over and over again from start to finish. And I feel like after a while, it wasn't super, I feel like it wasn't really efficient. So then I thought I'd take a page from Tara Schweiger's book, and which, since I mentioned it, bam, bonus. This is going on too. I thought I would take a page from her book and break down the repricing, because the reality is repricing is not a step. It is a project. There's several steps, right? So I broke it down, and I've got a checklist of like 9 or 10 things or something like that. So that's really good. I'm happy about that. And one of them was to just make all the spreadsheet templates for everything. So I would just open a spreadsheet, make a copy of it, and then rename that copy something, whatever the name of it is. So I did all of that. So I got like 4 or 5. I would say about 40% through the steps I put out. Obviously, some of them are going to take longer, so it's kind of relative, putting a percentage on that, because all of the steps are not created equal as far as like time they take. But I just finished the project sheets today, so now I've moved on to doing the spreadsheets. And the whole thing, I hate spreadsheets, right? I hate spreadsheets because it's just one more thing to keep track of, really. But I found that the spreadsheet was good for double checking my math, and it made updating the math and changing it a lot easier. Because the reality is things like postage become more expensive. Maybe I remember that I forgot to put something on there. Oh my God. Try not to yawn at you. Or whatever. And then, of course, you can set formulas up and just basically have the spreadsheet do all the work for you. Now, I hate math. Let me just put that out there. I hate math. I'm a numerologist. I like numbers. Okay. I don't like math. Right? I like structures of garments, but I don't like shapes. I don't like geometry. So it's kind of that. Yeah, kind of. Okay, whatever. Anyway, despite the fact that I don't love math, I really like to take a really hands-on approach when it comes to my walnuts. What? Lost. Okay. I hate when this happens. I really do. I'm trying to keep it together. It happens more at night too. So it's gone. That sucks. Anyway, I know I was talking about the project sheets, but like after that, gone. Okay, so as far as the thing, I've got to do the spreadsheets. I've got to update the pricing sheet that's on the back, which I'll update after I do all the spreadsheets, because then I'll be able to reference those for these are the materials that you used. Then I will go on to do the pay yourself page, which is basically a reiteration of that. It's just the format's different and there's some additional information. And then I can move on to the next step, which project sheet, spreadsheet, pricing sheet, pay yourself. I think I'm gonna go to the inventory after that, because one of the other things I've been doing is making notes about the categories that all these things should be in directly in the project notes, instead of trying to think about it on the fly or remember later. So, woo! There's that. How I feel about it, I will be so glad when that shit's done. I I'm so overdoing it. I'm also overdoing it. Yes. Yes, as I am wont to do with so many things. So that'll be great. Unfortunately, right after that project ends, another one starts, aka the copywriting. Hooray. And don't get me wrong, I'm actually a fabulous writer and I'm really good at it, and I'm very adept at wordsmithing, and so it's not that I have a problem with wording. It is a matter of I know how much I have to write and the sheer volume of the stuff, and it's a lot. I've got somewhere around 130, 140 projects that I have to do this for. So like that's just gonna take time. And I wish it would go faster. Like I wish I would get done sooner. But alas, poor Yorick, not so much. So that is it. That is it. Oh my god. Alrighty then. I've got a picture of the close-up of the ribbing, so if you'd like to take a gander, make sure you scroll down into the post below. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can hit that link at the very top and it'll send you over to Patreon. And I've got links below to my project page, the pattern page, and the yarn, and also the needles that I'm using. So if you'd like to get any of those for yourself or look at them or know what I do, I've got all that information ready for you. And as always, if you want to find me, you can check out my websites below, Aradia's Hand and Danae's Divine, as well as all of my active social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, which is where I like to hang out. I love to hang out on Instagram. And so, because you're so good and you've stayed till the end of this video, you get to hear the announcement. So the announcement of, oh, what are we working on tomorrow? Well, oh, I don't know. All right, Mickey, just shut it. We're going to work on some project time. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, because the honest answer is I did not put the poll up. I've been really bad about it. And I can't put the poll up before Sunday, right? And so what ends up happening is then Sunday rolls around and I like to forget. And I don't have a poll every Sunday, just most Sundays, because every now and then we skip project time because there's a different prompt for Thursday happening, like a Sabbath or an SBAT or, you know, not the culture trade months, but you know what I mean. Things shift around. So that means that I can't just, you know, set up all of those ahead of time because I don't know what I'm going to be working on in 2 or 3 weeks or months or years, right? So there's that. But I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for following me on YouTube, for liking this video, for watching. And if you haven't already gone over to Patreon, consider becoming a patron. And to all my existing patrons, I appreciate you. Thank you. You're making these videos possible, as well as making me be able to continue to do art. So I appreciate all of the support. And there you go. So long, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. I will see you tomorrow.